Welcome to another edition of the Simpson Storm Coaches Show. I am Zach James, and I am joined here today by head coach Jim Glogowski. Coach, how we doing?
Great.
Big win on Saturday. Defense posted a shutout. What's the significance of that shutout?
I think it just kind of speaks volumes to the kids getting better. I think Coach Cordes and the defensive staff did a great job. Ultimately, that was a very close game to the very end, and I think it was 6-0 with 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game. And obviously, both teams had kind of struggled to move the ball with the wind, and for us to be able to get a touchdown at the end and kind of put it away was certainly helpful. But I thought defensively we played as well as we played all year.
How big a factor was the wind throughout the course of the game?
You know, I thought it really made it a two-quarter game when you had to go into it, and we obviously tried to get the ball into the fourth quarter, and that way we'd have the wind at our back just for punting purposes, and obviously another field goal attempt. But we tried a little bit longer field goal in the first quarter than we had probably all year, just because we felt like the wind was at our back, and when we had to kick off into the wind, we tried to pop it up just because the wind was so stiff going into our face.
With the offensive struggling, the defense is going back and forth. What did you tell the offensive guys to stay focused?
Well, the biggest thing we talked about was just to continue to keep plugging away. You know, I think you find yourselves in those games, and no matter what happens in the course of a season, you're going to have a couple of those games where there's a shootout and the offense has to pull it through, and there's a defensive battle where hopefully your offense can score one at the end to kind of put you over the top. And, I thought we had some opportunities early that we missed on, and that certainly didn't help. But at halftime, we were pretty upbeat and just tried to stay the course and try to get back at it the second half.
Talk about the big...
Yeah, it was actually a kind of a bubble and go type of play where we threw a bubble pass and tried to get the safety in the corner to bite on it. And Taylor made a nice throw to Taylor Rogers, who caught the ball in stride and then showed some good speed by outrunning the secondary.
Is this team at its peak right now? Is there still room to grow with this team?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, I think we've got another week left of the season, and as I told the kids, I expect us to keep improving until the final horn on November 12th, and that's kind of been our mentality all year long, and which has allowed us to have a little bit of success the last few weeks. But that's obviously the idea, and we'll keep coaching to the very end and try not to dwell on the fact it's the last game of the season. I think our kids are kind of the mindset they wish we had a few more games, but ultimately we need to play better in the first half of the season if we want to continue postseason action in the future. But it's been a great last few weeks, and hopefully we can continue to improve this week.
There is one more week to go. Central, big game. Do you treat this game as any other game since it is our rivalry, I guess?
I think our kids understand the significance of it, but again, we've talked all year long, it's just play the next game. And whether it was Wartburg or Central or Co or Luther or Loras, it doesn't really matter. In college football, at least at our level, you only get 10 cracks at it. Mm-hmm. And so every game's a big one. You better make them all count. So that's kind of been our mentality.
How does the defense contain Nate Snead, the quarterback for Central?
Oh, that's a good question. If you got any ideas, I'll certainly take them. But he's very talented. Obviously I've said this before, he's one of the best running backs in the league, period. And on top of that, he's a quarterback. So he can throw it as well. And, they obviously do a great job. I think they're the number one rushing team in the league, and they might even be the best rushing defense in the league. And so on the other side of the coin, I think we have one of the better passing offenses and one of the better passing defenses. So you kind of see a couple stark contrasts there. But he's certainly talented. We've played him a couple times now, and he certainly makes them go. So we'll have to be prepared to tackle well.
Central has had a couple of big fourth quarter comebacks this year. How significant will time of possession play in this game?
Well, I think it's a big part of it. I think we go into the game typically trying to possess the football because you need it to win. But we're certainly not going to slow it down if we have a chance to put points on the board, and we're certainly not going to speed it up for any other reason other than just changing the tempo. So, the big thing is for us is to make sure we take advantage of our possessions. And if we get some opportunities in the red zone, you got to capitalize, and you just can't turn the ball over in a game like this.
Well, Coach, good luck on Saturday in the final game. The crowd will be behind you as we face Central 1 p.m. on Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For the Simpson Storm Coaches Show, I'm Zach James.